We hope you enjoy The Magicians, A Murder in Suburbia by Rachel Lawson. The Necromancer only got caught by the police as a murderer once. And it all began with a car accident, a black thumb, and a gift. The Necromancer was a gardener, a black thumb. He was given a plant as a gift he couldn't kill, a blackberry plant. As a black thumb lance, the Necromancer, it was all he could grow. He planted the mother plant in his backyard. When he planted it, a piece broke off. He lovingly planted it in his front yard. He loved that plant. So when John Tyler, Lance's neighbor, deliberately ran off the road to save a cat and knocked over the blackberry, Lance totally lost it. He ran outside, and the cat hissed and ran off as if it hated him as much as Lance hated it. Lance ripped the driver's door off the undamaged car. Lance wasn't human, and he was stronger than he looked. "What's wrong with you, Lance?" shouted John, being dragged violently out of the car. "You killed my tree," screamed Lance, livid. "It was only a weed," said John. "I was going to talk to you about your weed problem. They are growing into my garden. Can you kill them?" "I love my blackberry plants," said Lance, who could only grow the blackberry and its scion. It was like a baby to him, the blackberry. So killing it was sacrilegious. John's wife called the police, who came. Enchanter put him down, said Lance's great-uncle Reynard, the man in charge of the local police when he arrived. "He murdered my blackberry plant," said Lance, who was also called the Enchanter, a superhero. "I thought the Enchanter was a nice guy," said the scared John. "Only if you don't murder my trees," said Lance coldly. "He loves his blackberries," said Reynard. "He can't grow anything else." "Yes," said Lance's son Junior, embarrassed by his dad's behavior. It took Junior and Reynard to overpower Lance and drag him off John. "It's all right, Dad, we can replant it," said Junior, pushing the car-broken stem of the blackberry and stuck the stem in the ground. "Thank you, boy," said Lance. "It's just a weed," said John. "If you touch my plants, I'll kill you myself," shouted the livid Lance. "If you kill him, we'll arrest you," said Reynard. Lance felt nervous. He was regretting the threat. It was foolish for a killer to threaten people. He calmed down. Later that day, the Necromancer met his boss, Fate, who he killed people for. "Lance, you have to kill him," said Lance's boss. "I'm not a nut. I can't kill him," said Lance. "Why are you defying me?" asked Fate. "I know him. He's my neighbor, and I threatened him in front of the police. They'll know it's me," said Lance. "He's a really bad man. He must die," said Fate, not caring what his assassin had to say. "Still, I can't hurt him," said Lance. "If you don't do what I ask, I'll tell the police who you and your father truly are," threatened Fate. "You can't," said Lance, scared. Lance was a murderer, and his father was living dead. There would be hell to pay if they were revealed. "I can't," said Lance, knowing he couldn't say no, and doing what he was told would have him branded a killer either way. "You must," said Fate. He knew he had to do as he was told. It would ruin his dad's and others' lives if they were revealed. Lance bought an illegal gun. The next night, he found John on his lawn, cutting down and poisoning his beloved plant. Lance cursed. John saw Lance holding a gun. "No," said John. "I don't want to do this either," said Lance, who shot John and ran inside his house to his bathroom, panicking. "You killed him, did you?" said his son, opening the door to the bathroom. I had to," said Lance, making the gun disappear into thin air with magic. "Come, boy, we must go out there. It will look wrong if we don't," said Lance. Lance walked into the street and saw the wife of the man he killed. "Get him. He is a murderer. He has my husband's blood on his hands," accused the wife, pointing at Lance. No, I don't," said Lance, stammering. "You threatened him. You said if he killed your weed, you'd kill him." "But it wasn't me," lied Lance, knowing no one believed him. The police didn't either. They arrested him. "That was very stupid. Where's the gun?" said the coroner later, alone with Lance. "I know. I didn't want to do it. I was ordered to do it. I destroyed the gun," said Lance. "That madman, again," said the coroner. "Yes, I was blackmailed into it," said Lance. "How?" asked the coroner. "He said he'd tell the police who we are." "Dad," said Lance. "He would," said the coroner. "He doesn't have any loyalty to his minions. We are just as good to him as the people he tells you to kill." "Yes," said Lance. "We're lucky they don't suspect you are the Necromancer. we'd both be in big trouble, said the father. The father of the Necromancer was known as Mortimer, the king of the Grim Reapers, and he could not be emperor of the solar system, which he was. Yes, I'm lucky they just think I'm a mad neighbor. I knew I'd be in a lot more trouble, so I used a gun, instead of my usual MO, or I'd be in trouble. So would everyone else, said Lance, later. Lance, can't you see how insane it is, killing your neighbor over a tree? What were you thinking? Said Raynard. I know it is, it wasn't me. I was inside my house, I heard the shot, and went outside, said Lance, who was notably in shock. Where did you put the gun? We know you bought one, said Raynard. It was stolen, from my home. The killer stole it, I think, Lance said. Likely story, said Raynard doubtfully. Elsewhere, an irate Fate spoke to Lance's brother, Tempest, the timekeeper, who ran time. How could he get himself arrested? Shouted Fate. You told him to do it even if he was sure he'd be arrested, said Tempest. He has to do what I say. I thought he was making excuses, said Fate. You forced his hand, said Tempest. How can I get him out of the lockup? Asked Fate. Days earlier, the cat saw Lance and hissed. The car crashed into the blackberry plant. Lance ran up to the side of the car. Lance threw open the car door. What's wrong with you, Lance? John asked. You killed my tree, screamed Lance, livid. It was only a weed, said John. I was going to talk to you about your weed problem. They are growing into my garden. Can you kill them? Lance laughed. John looked at him confused. Just kidding. How are you, John? It's just a tree. I'll see what I can do with the weeds out the back, said Lance like his annoyance was a joke. Lance winked. John wondered why he winked. A dimension away, Tempest watched his brother wink to him in the pool of time. He was told what to say to lose suspicion. That night, Lance appeared at the police station, when Lance was meant to kill John. Why are you here at this hour? Asked Lance's great-uncle, Raynard, who was working overtime. I was bored, said Lance, sitting down in a chair. Meanwhile, at the same time in the garden of Lance smiled. He saw John killing his so-called tree. He walked up to John, who didn't see him, and said boo. John looked around and saw Lance. I'm just killing a weed, said John. Me too, said Lance, pulling a sword out from under his long flowing black trench coat. John looked puzzled. Lance killed him with the sword and disappeared into thin air. Meanwhile, Tempest sat at the police station yawning as he posed as his brother, who he was covering for as an alibi as the Necromancer killed his neighbor.